Hello.
Hey guys. Good morning.
Hello, everyone.
And hello to you. Alright, so last week, you met a new friend, you busted a dumbass teenager out of prison, you got a cool new sword for the paladin, and you made your way up to Mirabar and went and bothered the dwarves in their underground stronghold. You found out about some Goliath bullshit going on to the south. You found out about the Frost Giant rune and it guiding you to a family of people, it seems. The nearest one, the easiest to isolate, being somewhere to the northwest. And you're still looking for that dwarf bandit. Did I forget anything?
Don't seem like it to me.
Don't think so.
All right. In that case, what do you guys wish to do? Oh, looks like you're actually heading towards Luskin. Is what it looks like you're doing.
Yep.
All right.
We made it like 1 day's travel.
All right. I gotta rebuild my thing. 1 second. My D&D books were a little scattered.
Happens to the best of us.
I just have so many. I really wish they had D&D Beyond when I first started buying this shit, so I wouldn't have bought all the physical books.
I still probably would have because they look cool on the shelf.
Agreed, but it's especially the player's handbook because it's just so easy to build something. If I had it myself, I could share it with people, and it wouldn't be so difficult for character creation. But anyways, we are continuing onwards. We'll do a couple of rolls to see if there's any random encounters on the way. How long do we say that was to Luskin?
I don't remember.
Neither do I, so let me measure. 1 moment. Oh, I already had him. It's right there.
I wasn't going to judge you. I was just going to let you do your thing.
I just didn't see it. So that's 100. So let's say it's 150 miles. You move about 20 miles a day, 25 miles a day on the road. So we'll say that is, you're going to move 25 miles. You have 125 left. So that's 5 more days of travel. So you guys now have Lena's tiny hut. So at night you're safe. So let's do a couple during the day. Cal, just give me a D20.
Yeah, I get to be the first one.
You do. As you pass further along the road, there continues to be no issues of any sort. Ryle, give me a D20.
All right. Let's hope I don't roll big.
Varus crit.
All right. Nope. You guys get another 25 miles down the road. You have completed 1/3 of the journey. There's not been any issues thus far. The dwarves and the Mirabarians keep strong watch on their territory, apparently. The next morning, you guys set out again. Volk, give me a D20, please. All right. Morning goes uneventfully, and in the afternoon, Calders, give me another D20.
Hooray. I broke roll 20.
Nice.
There
one.
it goes.
There it goes. All right. Give me a D 100.
No.
66.
Execute Order 66.
We're all gonna die.
Pick up sticks.
Roll me a D4, please.
Oh, man. Yay, only one fire giant.
Okay. You hear off in the distance. You hear some bellows. You're starting to come down a bit. You're not. Oh, there's not mountainy, but it's a little hilly. There's rolling hills in this area. As you're starting to come down one hill, in the distance, atop another, when you hear the shouting, you look over and you see two ogres shouting at each other in giant. Which of you speak giant?
Calder speaks giant.
Okay. So what they seem to be arguing is trying to decide which way is home. But they keep shouting over each other, and like one of them will say we should go north, the other one that says we should go south, and then the first one will say east, and then the first one says north, and they can't, like, they're so stupid they can't even listen to each other to figure out what they want to do. But they're just standing in plain sight, completely oblivious to anything. Two ogres just fighting on the hilltop.
Would they, like, do I feel like they would notice us if we just kept going?
There's a chance they will notice you. They're probably if they're off the road. They're probably about 100 feet from the road, so you feel like you could probably get by them, even if they do notice you. But you don't know, what else, if they've attacked anybody else on the road or if they're a danger to other people as well. But you suspect that if you wanted to try and get past, you could, or you could easily get to them. However you so choose.
Well, Ryle,
Yeah.
I'm not keen to go getting injuries I don't need to, but considering the history of attacks recently, do you think that we should deal with these two while we might be able to get the jump on them, or should we try and get by?
Huh. Have we seen anybody else on the road?
You've seen a couple of wagons going up and down. It's not this far north. There's not a lot of traffic, especially now that you're getting later in the year. Most of the trade is done earlier in the summer. You guys have been adventuring for a month or so now. So it's in the south, down around Waterdeep. It's, towards the end of summer. This is mid-fall. This far north.
Maybe we could talk to them.
I
Maybe
mean,
say that they seem to be talking about where or going home. Maybe we could say their home is in one of the directions that one of the ogres is talking about.
I mean, I'm not above lying to an ogre to make him think home is away from us.
I mean, it's not lying. I mean, we have a 50-50 chance of being right. We don't know which of them is lying. We don't know which one's telling the truth.
Well, how about we just try to skirt past them, and if we get their attention, then we'll talk to them.
All right.
All right. Let's do that.
Okay. You're easily able to roll on past. I want to make a stealth check. They're not paying any attention to the road. As you wander by, one of them puts the other in a headlock and a wrestling match breaks out. And we'll say that's your encounter for the day. Anything else dangerous is basically avoiding two angry ogres. There's enough noise in the hills in this area that it's either something's fighting or something's sucking, and nobody wants to get any close to whatever it is.
I really should have asked Volk, because we didn't let Volk fight anything last game. We should have totally let Volk get into combat.
That's all good.
Volk, I apologize. You are a wizard, correct?
The
Okay,
best.
Just making sure. I have another game. All the people I met, I got a lot of responses to that previous message for last week, so I just started a Lost Might Have Found Devil game on Tuesdays for all the people that I couldn't fit in here.
That's cool.
I'm out of work. I have nothing better to do with my time right now. Volk, give me a. Actually, no, sorry, Ryle, you're next up. Give me a D20 for the next morning. Give me a D100.
Oh no.
Oh no.
13. Give me a D4, please.
4.
I'll take the one.
All right. Everybody give me perception checks.
Cheater.
Look at that. Aha!
Think you're so special.
All right. All three of you notice as you're going again along some hills, there is a pair of what look like large cats stalking you.
Do I know what kind of animal they are?
You can give me a nature check if you like. Looks some sort of wild cat. They look to be about the size of a panther in real life. So they looks like they're trying to stalk you. One of them does notice that you're watching it, and it kind of glares at you, and they kind of track you for a bit.
How many horses do we have again?
1 for each person plus 2 on the wagon? Or 1 on the wagon?
I'm riding on the wagon, so I don't have a horse.
Okay.
Okay, I think we should speed the wagon up a little bit. See if we can lose these cats.
I think we have 2 riding horses minimum plus 2 horses and then Volk on the wagon. Are you on your own horse, Ryle, or are you on the wagon?
I think I'm on my own horse.
Okay, so you, me, and Matt are on horses and Volk's on the wagon.
Okay. So yeah, you're easily able to kick the wagons into high gear, and since you know they're they're intelligent hunters. They will, you will not see them. It's pretty impressive, you guys. All three of you rolled that high. They rolled a 20 on their stealth check. So far, you guys have gotten lucky on these initiatives. Let's do one a day unless something happens. We'll see if anything else happens that same day. So next day, Volk, give me a D20 and we'll see if anything interesting happens.
So we had the first day with the giants. What day are we on now?
We had ogres. You had first day you had nothing. Second day you had nothing. Third day you had ogres. Fourth day you had cats. So that is 100 miles. You have about 50 miles to go. You think it's probably about 2 days to get there. So until you're spent together, you're probably right about there. You're probably just past the river.
Okay.
Let's see. Volk did the 20 again, so he is. That day goes uneventfully. I'll just go and roll a couple, see if I get anything interesting. I'm gonna roll in front of you. All right, you get one more random encounter before you get to the city. Let's see here. Let's go and roll myself. I like rolling things. Rolling things is fun. 61.
We're fighting this one, no matter what it is. Little old woman needs help carrying groceries. Combat.
We fight the old woman.
Fighting the groceries.
Ah.
All right. You actually see a mounted armored figure riding along the road along the road from Luskin, so heading in your direction.
Does he appear to have any insignia or like a uniform that I would identify, or too far off at this point?
Give me a perception check.
I'm great at those. Super great at those.
She does have she has a banner and like on riding on her horse. You don't recognize exactly what it is. Yes, she. But as she rides closer, she'll stop and wait for you because she sees you approaching just as much. She does appear to be watchful.
Okay, she says watchful, but does she seem to have weapons drawn or anything?
Not drawn, but she has a lance that's kind of like, it's not at the ready, but she's got it out.
Okay, well, I'll ready my shield, but I will keep my sword at my belt, and I'll kind of get a little forward of the wagon so that I would be point, I guess, and approach her.
Okay. When you approach, she will hold up a hand and bid you to halt. When you get close enough to engage in conversation with her, you will see that she has her standard has an emblem of Helm, the god Helm, on it.
This is where me as a player wish that I knew more about the gods of Forgotten Realms.
Helm is a protector god.
I'm like vaguely aware of Helm. I just couldn't remember what all he stood for.
Yeah, he's the god. He's the god of vigilance and protection.
I'm assuming as a paladin.
As a cleric, as a paladin, you would know that. So you'd be familiar that he is a good alliance. He's a lawful good deity, very popular with knights and paladins and clerics and the like. And she will explain that her name is Efrix Odnard. Let me go and paste that in here for you. And she is a knight of the Order of Samular, going with an urgent message to Mirabar.
Calders will say, well, we won't hold you up, but we must warn you that there are dangers on the road. We spotted a pair of panthers only a night or two ago, and further east there were 2 ogres along the road, so we don't know which direction they decided upon going, but we have seen them. And Mirabar, the citizens of Mirabar have reported attacks of trolls and the like.
She'll nod and thank you for the information, but she says there's troubles everywhere this year. She was going to report that a Luskan just survived an attack by several frost giant ships. The wizards fought them off. However, they did manage to loot some, and 2 of the ships, carrying about a dozen of the creatures each, were able to get away and sail to the south.
So ships on the water, not ships in the air?
Yes, she says they were frost giants in long ships.
Well, that doesn't bode well for anyone to the south. I don't see two ships trying to attack Neverwinter itself, but I know that there are other towns along the high road south.
She nods and says that some of her companions, there were riders sent in all directions. They were worried about Port Last, but the town guard and the town fathers of Luskan are too busy putting Luskan back together. There are still ships burning in the harbor.
And how many ships attacked your city?
Luskan was attacked by... looks like 3 longships attacked. One of them was destroyed in the harbor, and they also destroyed several of our ships in the raid, which are the ones that are... And the reason they're still burning is that the mages, when they came out of the Hoss Tower, went a little fireball happy. They seem to relish the fact they had a chance to show their power, and the harbor is largely destroyed because of it.
Well, I'm sorry to hear the town was attacked. Do you have any idea why they attacked?
She shakes her head and says, "There are several corpses, but none of them. We didn't take any alive."
That's unfortunate, and I hate to hear that there might be some other attacks further down the line. We won't keep you. Aside from what my friend has said, the road is pretty clear.
She nods and thanks you, and she will ride on past and keep on her way.
We didn't fight her.
Hey, we had an encounter.
Not every encounter on this chart is a deadly encounter, especially if you're on a road.
All right. Well,
All right.
I feel like our arrival to Luskin is not going to be as uneventful as we were hoping. So let's press for the city, and hopefully the chaos has died down by then, and we can try to get some answers to some of the questions we have.
All right. So you guys are able to get there. You're able to get in around the time night falls, about 7 o'clock or so. I'm not sure about the other two of you. Volk, as a wizard, you would know Luskin is known for one thing and one thing. They are known for the Hoss Tower, which is one of the largest collections of wizards and magic in the north. It is a huge tower that splits at the top into 5 sub-towers along the top of it. From up close, it looks like a hand coming up out of the ground, grasping the sky. And every branch has its own, focuses on a different school of magic. The town itself is a squat, dark, dirty place. Calgus, you would probably know it is not part of the Lords Alliance. I forget. Are any of you members of Lords Alliance?
I am not.
I thought I thought Matt's character was, because he's a noble. I think.
Yeah. So Matt would definitely know, and he would tell you that the city has a fairly low reputation, so it is not currently a member of the Lords Alliance. However, it has been petitioned to do so because it wants the extra protection, it wants the extra prestige, and it's been pushing harder ever since Sundabar was destroyed, and ever since Citadel Feldbar left and Sundabar was destroyed, they've been petitioning more to try and take their places. As you enter, you do see the smoke rising from the city, and there's a lot of commotion still in the streets.
Is there anything that needs like immediate attention? Like, is there very clearly still boats burning in the bay, or buildings that are on fire / people are still, being pulled out of, or anything? Or has enough time passed that most of the recovery effort, the emergency responding effort, has ceased?
It looks like the emergency responding has ceased. The ships in the ocean, they're still smoldering, so it's still smoking. There aren't like active flames burning, but they're large ships. The giant ship is obviously giant-sized. The regular human ships are still big trade ships, trade vessels. Some of them flying the flags of Baldur's Gate or Waterdeep, and they are, taking up space in the water and smoldering, half sunk.
Yeah. Well, my first instinct would be, if anyone needed help, that I would offer help to try and get in good graces immediately, and also, doing the right thing. But with this, I guess we're going to try to find somebody, not like the mayor, but kind of like if there's any sheriffs or guards or stuff like that, and kind of figure out what's going on and point us in the direction of the inn. So.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely find a guard, and he'll point you. He'll be surprised that any strangers are, wanting to stay in Luskin with all this excitement. But he will point you towards the direction of a couple of inns. of the low to medium quality, and he'll tell you that. Well, give me a persuasion check to see how well you convince him that you're actually able to help and not just looking to, exploit the situation. All right. You look like you handle yourself. You got your paladin-y shit on. And he will tell you that the talk of the town is that those ships, they sailed down from the north, but when they left, they sailed south. And so the talk of the town is that they might be going for Port Last, which is the only port. Those of you who, I think you're all relatively intelligent enough to know, the Port Last is the only major city between Neverwinter and Luskan, because there's cliffs dividing the two, and that's the only spot where the cliffs kind of stop. So there's a gap in the cliffs, and there's a natural bay. So a lot of the townsfolk are worried because they have a lot of family members down there, and they're worried about their families, and merchants are worried about their trade, and that's the concern.
How well defensible would you say Point Last is? Like, is this a city that will be able to fend off 2 boats of giants, or like, do we need to hit the road right now and try to be there helping in any way we can? Like, what would Caldrus as a character think?
Give me a history check.
Oh boy.
Well, my character would say, if Luskan is apparently known for being or has a wizard's tower here that seems to be pretty powerful, Port Last would probably not be able to fare as well.
Yeah. Caldrus, you are familiar with the area, and Port Last is actually pretty famous for constantly being destroyed by orcs, by drow, by anything that passes by, really. They are probably not going to be able to defend themselves.
What do Volk and Ryle think?
Ryle's going to sound is going to sound pretty bad here, but Port Last really isn't our problem. We do need to find out what's going on with these giants, but we could find out just as much by going north. There's no telling if we'll actually make it to Port Last by the time the ships get there. Ships are faster than traveling by land.
This magical energy that's pulling me in several directions, is it seeming like Luskan is one of the locations?
Yeah, that's a good question. Give me a D100 and let's see.
Does the pull get stronger the closer he gets to a target, or is it kind of an all-around same magnetic pull?
Well, you don't know yet. And at the moment, he feels the same pull as he always feels, and that's just in multiple directions.
This is for the rune, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The,
okay.
Ice rune?
Yep.
Yeah, didn't we think the rune was pulling us more towards the northwest?
Well, it's pulling in several directions. The one that's easiest to isolate is the one pulling you to the northwest, because there's a lot of them going to the south.
Right, because there's more cities in general to the south. There's several pulls to the south, but because there's nothing along the whole spine of the world, there's very clearly something pulling us towards, we assume, the 10 Towns area.
How does the tower's conditions look?
The tower looks fine. The giants didn't get further than the dock area.
Okay.
It looks like they raid. There's several warehouses that have burnt out. So it looks like they raided for supplies and whatnot. But the wizards ran them off pretty efficiently. The talk of the town when you guys get to your inn is that the wizards don't normally show themselves, especially show their power like that. So it's even in a city with a massive wizard's tower, it's something to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, Forgotten Realms is like high fantasy, spellcasters walk around and stuff like that, but normally like in the cities, people don't just hurl fireballs on the daily.
Right. It's not that they don't know the magic exists, it's just they don't often see it to that level.
Mm-hmm.
Caldrus, your Harper agent associates, they don't have a teleportation circle here in Luskan, do they?
No, otherwise we would have teleported to Luskan. Caldrus will say no, Neverwinter and Mirabar both, but not Luskan.
Well, my thought is we definitely wouldn't be able to catch the frost giants if we did leave. But if we were able to teleport, then we might be able to catch them.
We can always have Volk approach the Tower of the Magi and see if they possess the magical skills to send us that way. But I don't know their willingness to devote such an effort to help another town instead of protecting Luskan and being ready for the attack in case the giants come back.
Well, I guess it's up to the rest of you. I think that, well, we're definitely not going to be able to catch them by the road or by going over land. If I still kind of think it's not exactly our problem to save these towns. I mean, as awful as that sounds, we just are physically capable of doing it. But now if we were able to teleport, or if these mages were able to help, I guess the quickest way to do it would be to try to transport to Neverwinter and then go north to Port Last, and then we might be able to find these frost giants. But at the same time, if these frost giants were able to attack Luskan, and well, from the looks of it, they actually won, I'm not sure what we can do. Well, now that I think about it, it might just be better if we headed north.
What time of year is it? Ken?
Sorry, I've been muted. That's why I guess I'm responding. It's like late September or so. So like late summer, early fall, and a moderate temperature area. But even here in Luskan, it's quite cool, especially at night. As you continue heading north, it's going to get colder. So it's up to you how you want to proceed with that.
And that's what Caldrus would air his concerns. He's never been this far north, but he has heard of the effort that it takes to head to the 10 Towns area, mostly because me as a player is in an Icewind Dale campaign right now. But I was kind of curious how long the roads are going to be travelable to the north. Like if we head north, do we have to worry about winter slowing us down, or do we have some time yet?
You could all give me nature checks if you like. Also, Volk, give me a history check as well.
Yeah, we don't know shit about snow. We're them warm, water deep types.
Volk knows. All right. So Volk, you know that in the north, you could very well be slowed. The roads will be impassable to caravans and the like. Individual people, if they wanted to follow the trail, could do so. It wouldn't be pleasant, but if you go supplied, you can make your way around. As far as history goes, you know that the Hoss Tower is it's a font of magic, but it's like all of Luskan. It's got its dark side.
Mm-hmm.
You may be able to find someone who can help you, but there'll be a cost involved, and you don't know how much you would like that cost.
Well, I guess it just depends on, are we going to help or are we going to satisfy our own selfish needs?
Damn it, Ryle. Well, here's the thing. At this point, we are chasing after a giant that we don't know where he's been, only heard rumors. We're keeping an ear to the ground for a dwarven bandit. We have no idea where he's at, and we probably should have asked more questions about that in Mirabar. Especially since that's where people had said that he was. Damn, fail. We have a rune pulling us in multiple directions, and we have giants attacking all over the world. So we don't have any like clear-cut go to X and do Y. So we need to kind of start talking to people again and figuring out like more concrete clues on some of our open mysteries, or picking up more objectives. That statement started in character but somehow ended up out of character.
Well, then if there's no clear-cut trajectory, then I see no reason why we shouldn't pursue the dark arts to maybe expedite our travel to assist in this port last.
Well,
Is my thought.
let's talk to the other wizards at the Mage Tower, and perhaps we either can get some information about what's going on to the south, or we could get information on your rune. Perhaps they'd be better at figuring out if it's in fact trying to find too many things, or if the spell has been interrupted or broken or something. I'm not well versed in this sort of thing, and at the very least, maybe one of them has heard of giant whose name escapes me right now that we've been chasing after.
Quick question. I know at the end of last game I was learning the identify spell. Did I ever cast it?
I don't believe you did. What were you trying to identify?
We were going to try and identify something that it was like a weapon or a pole or something. I can't remember.
Ryle, do you have any idea? Oh, sorry, Caldus, rather.
I'm going to look at my notes.
It was like it was like something that he pulled out, and I told him that I couldn't hold it because Volk was very frail.
I don't know if you're talking about the Vonadod, which we already know what those
we already
do.
know what that does.
We didn't need to identify the sword. We already had vague details on it.
And we know exactly what the rune does.
Let's say there's a potion that needs to be identified. Or this is just a healing potion.
Never mind.
I think you were going to.
I think you were
going to identify the ruin, but then you guys figured out what that did.
Yeah, okay. I think it started with we need to figure out what the rune does, and then you were able to just get it on an Arcana check. But Ryle was telling you how important the identify spell was, so you were getting it just because at this point now you are going to be the guy in our party who identifies any of the magical shit we throw into Team Treasure. Because we had 2 of those in the last group, but we didn't really have one in this group.
Alright. Well, I am down for going to talk to the Dark Arts wizards. Or the more dark side of the magic, I guess.
I hear the dark side has cookies.
I would suggest heading to the divination tower first.
All right.
Okay.
Or
Let's.
possibly transmutation.
We got
Conjuration tower.
we got directions to kind of some middle class inns. So let's have gone to one of the middle class inns, stored the wagon and horses so that we can like set out into town and not have to worry about all of our stuff. Is that acceptable?
That's absolutely acceptable.
Okay. I'm gonna step away for like 2 seconds to do something to the cooking dinner in the other room.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go get some water. Then I'll be back in a second. Then we'll all of us will be back in a moment.
To the Dark Arts Towers.
I'll just be here.
I'm sorry, Volk. It's Thursday. She's home late. I'm in charge of the dinner.
What time is it there?
7:45.
Oh, okay. It's 10:45 here.
Oh yeah, you East Coasters.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm sure there won't be any problems at work.
Yeah, there never is.
Never problems. I'll just play some Town of Salem while I wait. Well, what will happen to the other guy?
All right, I'm back. Sorry. My dog just walked up to me, and she was bleeding everywhere.
Yeah, we're done playing.
Wait.
Oh, I mean, I've been in the same room, but I've been having to clean up blood off the tile.
Who was bleeding everywhere?
My dog.
Oh, your dog. Okay. I missed part. All I heard was she was bleeding everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck do you do to your wife, bro?
No, my dog just walked up to me. I looked down. And her foot is like bleeding everywhere. She managed to chew off one of her toenails,
Nice.
like completely off.
Hmm.
And she was tracking blood everywhere.
I wish the Cubs would save some of these runs for the weekend series against the Cardinals.
Well, that's my favorite team.
Yes, I know. You are going to pay for that at some point. You are aware of this, right? You're poking the person who controls the universe.
I love football.
All right, Hunter, you back too?
Yeah, so how about that Harshnag?
What about that Harshnag? You forgot the name of the giant. I was giving you the name of the giant.
I know. I'm gonna ask the wizards that when we get to the wizard tower, and I'm gonna say,
I'm a wizard.
"How about that Harshnag?"
I'm a wizard.
What about Harshnag?
Didn't think about that, did you? Yeah. Previously, you told them that he was known in Golden Fields. You've never met him, however. He was last known to be up here in the north somewhere, but you're not sure exactly where. But he is you all know he is a frost giant. However, he seems to like people. He's well known in the city of Waterdeep, although according to the folks in Golden Fields, he was further north than that most recently.
Gotcha. That's all about that Harshnag. So while you were gone, Ryle, we decided we're going to go talk to wizards to seeing if they have any way to expedite our travel.
Okay. Sounds like a good plan.
All right. So in the morning, you guys went to the inn. It cost you a gold each for the night and for food and a room and everything.
My unseen servant made us nice mint tea.
Okay. Teapot just floats around your guys' common room.
I hear Verabrar loves the mint tea.
He wouldn't drink it again.
All right. And in the morning, you guys can head over to the tower. The tower appears to just be a solid piece of black obsidian. There is no door that you can find by looking at it.
Is this some kind of wizard trick, Volk?
Whoops. I didn't mean to longbow that.
I attacked the tower.
Do I know if there's a secret to it?
You can give me an Arcana check if you like. Yes, you are able to determine. There's ruins carved into the obsidian, and you are able to tell by reading them where you need to, touch to alert them that somebody wants in.
The magical doorbell, as it were.
Exactly.
So I walk up and I ring the doorbell.
All right, very good. When you do so, after a few moments, there's a portal that just kind of forms in the stone, and a robed figure will poke his head out and be like, "What do you want?"
You want to take Volk?
What?
I said you want to take it, Volk?
Yeah,
Roleplay.
that would be good.
Yeah, roleplay your heart out. You're the wizard. Do wizard things.
I tell him that I'm here to see the wizard, the wonderful. I'm here to talk with the master of the tower.
Oh, he's here to talk to the master of the tower. Isn't he very proud of himself? He thinks he can talk to the master of the tower. Who are you to ask about the master of the tower?
Well, I am Harper's agent, obviously, and I'm here to assist in any way that I can with the scourge of the giants.
As soon as you say you're a Harper, he rolls his eyes at you and says, "The giants are a problem, and the Arcane Brotherhood fought them off without any help from you busybodies and the Harpers. Now, if you don't mind, we are very busy plumbing the depths of the universe, and I do expect that I have something more interesting to do that I will find here momentarily." And the stone will just kind of slam in your face.
Are all wizards as hospitable?
Seems so. Oh, well, nothing else to see here. Let's
So
head north.
It was a good. First off, take advantage because you did the best you could there with the roleplay. But the Arcane Brotherhood is specifically called. The book here specifically says, home of a league of greedy, power-hungry wizards called the Arcane Brotherhood. They are not going to like the Harpers very much. The Harpers are busybody goody two-shoes.
That try to stop people like the Arcane Brotherhood from being too powerful.
Right.
Well,
there were ways that you could have gotten in there and talked to somebody else. But you had to talk your way in.
Okay.
No.
If I ring the bell again, will you come back?
You can try.
I try.
Okay. He sticks his head back out and says, "You again? Didn't I tell you that I had something more interesting to do that I would find?"
Well, is there anybody else in there we can talk to?
He says, who are you exactly?
I'm with him.
What?
Slam.
I challenge him to a mage hand arm wrestling contest.
He looks you up and
it's a known thing between wizards.
He'll look you up and down and say, "You really think that you could hold your own against the mighty magic of Johnny Wari?"
Well, like I said, I am a Harper, so the Arcane Brotherhood does not stand up to me.
Now that will cause him to get very. He'll kind of puff his cheeks out and and he will immediately conjure a little table up and put his arm down. His mage arm will show up on the table.
And I summon my own mage hand.
All right. We will do this with a couple Arcana checks. First person to 3 wins it. 1 second. Where is
Johnny Wari?
Yep. So
is that a Don John name?
It is a Don John name. By the way, I tend to play all NPC wizards. Almost all my NPC wizards are crazy in some way or another. My idea being that if you're a wizard, you're probably going to be somewhat nuts. The ones that aren't insane are the dangerous ones. All right, so let's see what.
I saw that.
I got this, guys.
I was just giving myself the. Why didn't he give me the character sheet? Como say what the fuck? All I want to know is what sort of magic Arcana bonus should I fucking +6? Okay. All right, give me an Arcana check. All right, first one, you get it really close so that as soon as he goes 1, 2, 3 start, but you expect it and you are able to resist him trying to cheat you. Go ahead and give me another one. All right. You imagine he's sweating now and he's cursing you under his breath, but you continue to push back his hand. One more. All right. He goes, "Ah!" And just for a moment, it goes back the other way, but then you slam it to the ground.
I extend my actual hand and a kind of limp hand shake, and I tell him it was a good duel.
He looks down at you and just kind of he sniffs and he says, "Fine, come in here and I'll see if if there's someone available to talk to you." And he'll lead you inside, and there is a very well furnished room full of high-end furniture and books on the wall, and there's windows facing out the windows. Even though you're on the ground level outside, on the inside they look out on the harbor and up to the mountains to the north, all around. Very cool looking.
That's fancy. As soon as that guy is out of earshot, I'm gonna say, I guess if he is that powerful, he wouldn't be answering the door.
I heard that.
Quite right.
I'll make a stealth roll. I don't care.
No, it's okay.
Chainmail stealth.
All right. What was the reason you said you wanted to talk to someone?
Oh, we were trying to see if we could get some way to travel, maybe the back roads of magic to our location.
Okay. Very good. Give me one moment here. We gotta check a couple of things.
Was that correct, guys? Is that what we were shooting for?
We had a couple of different things.
We have a lot of things, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Does Luskin need help? If so, how can we help? Comma,
Where's
space. Okay, well, if Luskin doesn't need our help, can someone send us to either Point Last to help or to the 10 Towns to do that whole... we have the rune that's pulling us that way, but also we think maybe Harshnag may have gone that way, which leads us into, hey, regardless of what we do, has anyone here heard of Harshnag, met him, etc.? Do we know anything about Harshnag? Is he a wizard? Is he a blacksmith? Have we found out anything about him?
Yes, you know a little bit about him, and some of this came from Volk because he's dealt with people who've dealt with him directly. He's not a wizard. He is he's a frost giant fighter. He has a massive magical axe that he likes to wreck people with. But he's very fond of the small folk, as giants call you all. He is a member of Force Grey, which is a kind of mercenary / guard company out of Waterdeep. And he's kind of an itinerant guard for the Lord's Alliance. The only reason that you know to look for him is because your crazy wizard friend told you to.
Right.
But he was also a crazy wizard, so what the fuck does he know?
Yeah, crazy wizard told us to do it, but there have been 3 other people that have mentioned seeing him and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, he's known across the Sword Coast, and as a wizard, Volk, you would know the giants tend to live quite a bit longer than humans do. So
he's had time to build that reputation.
Right. He's had time to Incredible Hulk it across the north. But yeah, so he will. A wizard will come down the stairs. There's only one set of stairs going up. You don't know exactly where you are in the tower, because it's a magical fucking tower, and you apparently are much higher than you were before. But he's coming down the one stairwell you see. He will introduce himself as. See if Don John gives me a better fucking name this time. Holes. As Aphrid. He says, I am a wizard of the 3rd level of the tower. I understand you wish to travel. I'm not entirely sure why my doorman decided to let you in, but he says that you are worthy, and that it might benefit me if I spoke to you. So I'm here to speak with you.
You're a 3rd level wizard?
Give me a Arcana check. Or history, whichever you prefer. So yeah, you don't know. He may just be a 3rd level wizard. In game, there aren't levels in games. You don't know if the Haas Tower has if the lower the number, the higher the rank, or the higher the number,
Gotcha.
the higher the rank. You're not sure.
Right. First of all, let me introduce you to the great Ryle and Caldrus. They are adventurers of mine. I am Volk. Thank you for allowing us into your tower to speak with you. Your doorman was quite nice, and he is a very skilled mage. And I look forward to him progressing in the art of magic. Now, our business has brought us here at the recent giant threats across the land. Of course, you've noticed. And we are looking to give aid where need be. It seems that you and your magical prowess of the tower have thwarted this attack, and we were wondering if either we could assist in any way possible here, or maybe seek travel somewhere that may need our help more desperately.
He says, we need no help here. The Haas Tower took control, and Luskin is among the most well-defended places in the realms. As far as travel, I can first off give me a persuasion check real quick. And I'll give you advantage because you said that in character and you were very persuasive with it, so you can have advantage. No, persuasion, not perception.
Oh, my bad.
Okay. So yeah, so he will tell you. He'll think for a moment. He'll kind of tap his finger to his lips, and he will say that travel I could probably provide, but there are always costs involved, and there's a fair amount of magic, and there are always risks when you dance with the arcane. So there is a cost that I'm going to request from you, and you need a promise that you will provide it within the next 3 months.
I have an out-of-character question.
Okay.
You mentioned that Luskan isn't in the Lords of Alliance. Are they want to be, though?
Yes. The Verabrar would be able to tell you that there have been overtures of late to get to join. However, the other lords are resistant because they have a very bad reputation of being pirates and thieves and, asshole mages who try and take over the world all the time.
Right. So, second out-of-character question as I try to understand the world slightly better. The city of Luskan and the Mage Tower that we're currently in, are they in agreement, or is this one of the things where the city kind of does one thing and the wizards are too cool and in the tower and do their own thing? Like,
did I have you do a history check already on this?
I'll do another one.
Yeah, give me a history check.
No. I don't spend enough time this far north.
Yep. You're not familiar this far north. You don't do enough with magic. You have absolutely no idea.
Okay. Well, I asked that because my response to the thing that he's asking us right now would rely on information that me as a player did not know, and I did not know whether Caldrus would know.
Gotcha.
And apparently he doesn't.
Well, can you keep character knowledge and player knowledge separate?
Well, I was also partially asking because we have a member of the Lord's Alliance with us who is not here to chime in, so to speak. So if Verabrar would know that the wizards want to be in the Lord's Alliance, that would affect the party answer going forward, if that made sense.
I see. Okay, so let's take a look here. Let's see what he knows about the city. I will go ahead and I will roll a check for Verabrar. It's gonna be. I'll do a history check for Verabrar.
Hey, the answer's no.
Yep.
It's easy enough to just say we don't know shit.
Yep. Don't know shit.
All right. Sorry about that.
The other thing is, what would they want us to do?
Okay.
Yes, what is the cost, good sir?
All right. What he'll tell you is there is a barbarian spirit mound about 100 miles from here. It's called Morger's Mound. If you look at the map there, I'm kind of pointing the marker towards it. Buried in the mound is a gold-plated fire giant's tooth. It is a magical artifact, a relic that I need for my research. I would need you to bring me that tooth. If you promise to provide it, I will transport you to either Port Last or anywhere else you wish to go. But I would require a promise that you will provide it by, and within 3 months' time, or there will be consequences.
I myself have never been inside of a mound.
That's what she said.
Set that up nice. Wait. Anyway, I'd be happy to provide that for you. If I live long enough.
He smiles and says, "That is always a danger for adventurers such as yourself, but I'm sure that you are competent enough to not end up in a dragon's belly."
Yes,
so far, so good.
I do wear the pendant of the cardinal, so I feel my chances are very good surviving.
You were trying to call Tiamat down.
Oh my god. So Caldrus will kind of say that, well, we do have some questions for folks in we do have some questions for folks here in town, and we'll probably want to spend the night and stuff. so we wouldn't need teleportation right this moment, but we do agree to those terms, I feel, and then once we know whether we need to go to Port Last or to somewhere else entirely, we can let you know. But I feel that the retrieval of the Giant's Tooth is a fair price to pay for teleportation for the 4 of us. So I for one agree to those terms.
Question, Afred, when does this 3 months begin?
From the day that I teleport you.
Can we negotiate on the day that we have handled our business after being teleported? Because there's a chance that we will be teleported quite far away.
Give me a persuasion check.
Yeah.
He only knows 2 things: dice and no dice, and this is no dice.
Yes, he shakes his. He has a douchey smile on his face, and he shakes his head and says, "My friend,
Do I still have the inspiration from
you
last
do,
game?
You do still have the inspiration.
I'll use that.
Okay, go and roll it again."
Okay.
Yeah, he shakes it. He has a douchey smile. Says, "My friend, my research is very important, and this is a very important component. And I would, I could hire someone and pay them to go and raid this ancient mound. However, I feel that you will be more than capable."
Okay.
And again,
All right.
if you do go to Port Last, it's not terribly far from the mountain. You should very easily be able to get there and back again.
Well, that's where we go. Yeah. I have to deliberate with my party members, and can you give us 2 days to prepare, maybe, if need be, before traveling?
He says yes. I'm sorry.
What's the actual overland travel time to Port Last? Would we be saving any time at that point if we wait 2 days for teleportation?
Well, I said I meant up to 2 days, like.
Well, yeah.
Something.
No,
It's about 100 miles, so that's 4 days of overland travel.
Okay. Shit, I had a question. I forgot what it was.
My bad. I do that.
Nope. I'm gonna ask Afred, just casually while we're talking about things, if he has ever heard of the giant Harshnag.
All right. Give me just a moment, and I will check on that.
Volk has heard this name come up a lot out of, and he's just kind of wondering if Harshnag took his Caldris's woman or something, because he has a vendetta.
He'll tell you that Harshnag is, let's see, 14. Yeah, he probably knows the name. He's been around long enough and is well known enough. But he would have passed. What did he have passed through recently? Where did he come from? Where is he going?
Where did you come from, Harshnag,
Yep.
Joe?
Yes, he actually passed through here. He went north earlier this summer. He actually passed south again not too long ago, a few weeks.
Oh, well, imagine the luck of the stars aligning on that one. So if we head south, we might be able to pick up the trail. That's some of the best news I've heard all day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, gentlemen, I believe our wizard friend here likely has work to get back to, so we should set about taking care of our errands in town so that we can be ready for our trip south, from the sound of it.
Yep. As Volk turns to leave, he gives Johnny Wari a happy goodbye. Smiling wave.
Okay. He gives you a rude gesture.
He gives you a
Aw.
mage hand middle finger.
Okay, are we
I thought
outside yet?
I thought I made a friend.
You got a frenemy.
Yep.
So, are we sure we really want to take him up on this offer? I don't know about you, but I'm not sure where we could find one of these mounds for fire giants.
Well, out of character, I assumed he would have.
It's right
Like-
there.
Yeah. He told you where to
Yeah.
find it. He told you where the mound was. He says Morgar's Mound. It's about 100 miles to the east.
Yeah, I
Okay.
figured he was nice enough to like, hey man, you got a map, and then like, if not a general 100 miles to the east direction, then like, thank you for the X. Then like, actually marking it on our map.
Yeah, I saw where it was on the map, but he didn't seem like he would tell us. But if he told us, then then I guess we know where it is.
I was assuming
Well-
he told us because he wants the shit from the mound.
I wonder. Are we trying to save Port Last from the oncoming attack?
That was the plan. We don't really have much of a
Mm-hmm.
way of figuring out what the giants are up to.
Mm-hmm.
If I was hoping we could do our good deed for the week and help Port Last and maybe find out another way. But now that we know there's a mound with some fire giants over here,
Mhm.
he never really told us what this tooth was for. And if wizards here want something like that, it could be something powerful. Do we really want to cut off really save 2 or 3 days of travel to give what could potentially be a powerful artifact to this wizard here? I mean, he didn't exactly seem like the most friendly person, and it seems like he might be trying to take advantage of us.
Well, it's kind of that old conundrum of the lesser of two evils. What's worse, a giant scourge of the land, or a potentially, I don't know, politically angst organization having a little power?
Well, there's also the fact that we're not even sure if we can take down this entire mound ourselves. You haven't had... I'm not sure if you had a chance to fight any of these giants yet, but they're definitely no pushover.
Okay, well, he did tell you it's a barbarian mound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Barbarian.
was going to be my clarification. A barbarian mound with a not like a den of fire giants.
I'm a wizard, sir. I'm a wizard. That's all I need to say. I have
Yeah,
the
I
power
thought
of
it-
the cardinal with me.
Mm,
I'm going to just raise an eyebrow. Okay.
Can
Uh,
I wonder if our friend Aphrid could teleport us right onto the frost giant ship.
I think he would need to both divinate where it's at and then teleport us there, and that might be calling for another favor.
Okay, I won't even make you make a roll for this. You can't cast this spell yet, but you'd be familiar with it. There's always a chance that teleportation fails unless you have a permanent circle you're teleporting to.
Gotcha.
Okay. If you feel so, you would know as a mage that trying to teleport onto the deck of a ship that you've never been on before,
Mhm.
that you don't have a circle for, would be very dangerous.
But it would be fun.
Potentially, it could also be if you consider falling into the freezing cold ocean, 100 miles from shore. Fun.
could also be suicide. No,
Rolling a new character.
What if
Been here
we,
for a week.
Let's
what if
let's,
we head south? We
okay.
we see if we can help at Port Last. If we arrive too late, then we'll help in recovery efforts and stuff. We try to pick up the trail for Harshnag, And if we're unsuccessful there, then not only do we find ourselves in Neverwinter, which I'm sure opportunities and information abound, but we can always come back to the north, acquire this tooth that Aphrid desires, and then we still have, he would be in our debt, and we could use his teleportation to get us wherever we need to go. But if we head south, we're going to need to come back north. Though with winter approaching, I don't know whether that's going to be an option.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good to me.
Our other option is we can grind random encounters until we hit level 7.
This is also true.
Mm-hmm.
Except we don't play with XP, we play level milestones, so that wouldn't work anyways.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
The other thing is, I still don't know about this, making a deal with this wizard.
I got a phone call.
Okay. I'm not sure I really want to be indebted to him, just in case. I mean, what happens if we can't meet the 3-month timeline?
Well, we'll have to kill him.
I don't know how to answer that. I guess you're right, but
It depends on what he's going to come after. I mean, if it's my life, or if he's after my life, then I will do what needs to be done to protect myself. Won't you?
I mean, I would, but I'd rather not put myself in this situation in the first place.
So, what do you suggest by not teleporting?
Well, I'm not really sure what to do. Like,
a smart man once told me not to come with a problem, but to come with a solution to the problems.
Well, my solution was to continue north. Basically, what we're doing is we're taking a trip down to Port Last in the hopes that we catch a group of frost giants that may just skip Port Last.
Mm-hmm.
You also recently found out by talking to the wizard in the tower that Harshnag was last seen heading south just a couple weeks ago.
And we would know how fast he can travel since we were on his floating city for a while, right?
That's not Harshnag. That was.
Oh wait, right, wrong
Zephyros or whatever.
Zephyros, yes.
Yeah, Zephyros. It's a big gamble.
Did I miss anything important? My boss was calling.
We all agreed to kill the wizard if we were debating on if it was worth the risk of the wizard teleporting or just going north.
Well, if we go north, we need to go now to try and beat the snows. If we head south, we will likely not be back far enough north in time, and I've not experienced it myself, but the further we go past Luskan in winter, the more likely that we're going to get stuck somewhere.
Plus, I really want to find this Harshnag, guys.
Well, I'm just worried about being in debt to a wizard.
I will take the burden of the debt if need be.
He didn't give us consequences, did he?
No, he didn't.
The consequences were implied.
That's what I'm implying. Alright, well, we can just talk to people here in town and then set out south and try and pick up Harshnag's trail, and that leaves us not in debt with anyone. We don't have to worry about selling off the horses and cart that we just acquired, and we'll be, we'll be in charge of our own decisions. We won't be at someone else's mercy. So
We could just ride over to the mound and get the thing and come back, and then we'll have him, and we can go north with that and not even have to travel, right? Go
yeah,
north
we
with the
could.
teleportation and not even travel through the snow if he can find somewhere up there to teleport us.
Actually, well, we could just have him teleport us north.
I believe Volk just said that.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Then we do run into the issue of 3 months.
Oh, we go get the tooth first. We're just
All right.
forfeiting
So check it.
Port Last or
So
Harshnag.
So check it. We hang out in Luskin for the rest of the day. We see if we can turn up anything, any information. We head south. We see if the giants attack Port Last. We get to Neverwinter. We take the teleportation circle back to Mirabar. We head back down Blackford Road and cut south to the Mound. We acquire Tooth. We come back to Luskin, and then we don't have to worry about racing snows because we get to teleportate to Bryn Shander.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna ride down on horses to Port Last, or to Neverwinter.
Is there a reason why your Harper buddies wouldn't just teleport us to Tin Towns?
There's not a circle up there? Yeah, there's not a circle up there. Mirabar and Neverwinter is far northwest as you can get.
Well,
Were you talking about riding horses to Neverwinter?
I was, yeah.
Okay, that sounds good.
well, the guy, this man in Luskin is going to teleport us to a place without a circle. Is there a reason why your Harper friends couldn't do that?
They're not a third level tower wizard.
Yeah. The Harpers have, underground network of circles in physical places. I don't think that there is a circle set up with a guard at it anywhere up there, at least to my knowledge. So we would be being teleported without a circle, out of character. See the previous conversation about being sent to a boat that we don't know where it's at or what it's shaped like.
I mean, we're talking about getting the guy in Luskin to send us up there, up north, without a circle.
The mages.
I agree.
mages-
The Harpers aren't cool enough to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Ryle, I'm trying to think. You might give me an Arcana check. Let's see if you know anything about teleportation.
The previous guard in Mirabar tried to give me a straw hat to do stealth. Just saying.
Okay. So Ryle, you teleporting is a very high level magic. It's something you're aware of. I don't even think a cleric can. I don't think it's on the cleric spell list. But the amount of magical energy required requires quite a lot of study. The mages you've met so far, you've seen them using scrolls to do it. You don't think that they would have the capabilities themselves of getting you anywhere near where you want to be. They're really just trained to use those circles.
Right. They have an anchor point, and they are just sending something to a predetermined anchor point. The Harpers would not be able to teleport you into... If we were in Neverwinter talking to a Harper, he would not be able to send us somewhere random in Mirabar. He has to send us to that one spot in Mirabar.
Right. Unless you happen to know a very high level Harper, which you don't.
I'm working on it.
Okay, I'm not used to thinking with portals.
And I assume that this guy, this wizard in Luskin, isn't going to do it by himself. I'm sure there will be a circle that is drawn together to do it of other high-level mages. Or I could be wrong. Either way, I say we like you said, spend the rest of the day, gather information, then head north. I mean, south.
Well, it seems like as good a way as any.
Is there like... So back in 3.5, you could do like a streetwise roll and kind of like listen and gather information. Is there anything... What would be the way that we would just like kind of find bounty boards, and like how would we go about finding odd jobs and adventuring quests in Luskan?
I mean, you can stop by the guardhouse. You can stop by the the inns will probably have stuff like that. If you tell me you want to try and find one, I'll tell you can find something. And on the bounty boards, the most prominent one, the one worth the most money, is Forkbeard, the Weevil, who was last seen on the Blackford Road. Nobody's seen him in a couple weeks now, but he was terrorizing everything from Mirabar to Luskan, but has disappeared since the heat was coming down on him. Fuzz. Sorry, let me open my book and see if there's anything else interesting going on in the area.
I think we should just, farm levels till we hit level 11. And we can get word recall. We could just set up a recall here.
I see what you're saying.
All right. You find an ad for a griffin, like a griffin stable where they have griffins for sale up at Fireshear, up to the north there, up the coast.
We need griffins.
Yeah, the price you see there is expensive, but they are available. Do. There we are. There's nothing there. It's just a little waypoint. So yeah, that's the only interesting thing you got there for the north. Let's see, Arsborg, nothing interesting over there. Nope. Port Last, there's nothing. They have anything super interesting over there. And then let's see, Neverwinter and Helm's Hold.
All right. Well, rather than
we've never done the random quest thing before. I didn't have anything prepared for that. I apologize.
Yeah, I was gonna say rather than having to let you flip through the book,
Yep.
let's go check out the scene of the attack, right? And so we have the rest of the day to try and figure out what we're gonna do. Because if we are gonna set out, we'll set out in the morning. So I imagine we still have some time left in the day. So is the ship still burning?
No, they've pretty much burned themselves. I mean, there's still a low of, oily smoke on the air, but for the most part, the ocean. It's been 2 or 3 days now, so the ocean's put itself out. By the way, you guys stayed in the inn overnight, so it is still early in the morning. It's probably 10 in the morning right now.
My bad. lost a day there somewhere. Is anyone opposed to going and like seeing what the giants may have been after, whether they were just attacking to be dicks? Like, I don't feel like the number of giants that they sent here expected to take the entire town. So it may have been another raiding party like the attacks in Tribor and Goldenfield.
Sounds like a good idea.
So we know what the fire giants were after. We've seen the hill giants gathering food. We know that the cloud giants came and stole the Nightstone obelisk. But this is our second run-in with frost giants, and we still don't know what their motivations are. So let's head down to the harbor and try and gather some information.
Also, you find a poster asking for adventurers to go to Helm's Hold to help them with the giant infestation, which is just south of Neverwinter. That was put out by the Temple of the Cathedral of Helm that's in town there.
The temple is in Helm's Hold.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, unless anyone objects, Caldrus would say let's go check out the scene of the attack, so to speak. Especially since one of their ships was left behind, right?
One is burning there in the harbor. Yes.
I asked if it was burning, and you said it was put out.
Formerly burning. It was left burning in the harbor.
Copy. Just giving you shit. All right. Well, that's my plan, and I'm sticking to it. To the harbor. Harper's to the harbor.
Okay. You go down to the harbor. There's still a fair amount of gawkers staring, both sailors and the ship owners kind of mourning the loss of their ships. There's a lot of workers working to get platforms together to start salvaging and clearing out the harbor. Lots of street urchins, watching all the activity. But yeah, you see the Frost Giant log ship, which is a massive. I mean, it looks like a Viking longboat, except it's giant scale. So it's like 5 times long, 4 or 5 times larger than you would expect such a thing to be, as well as several large transport ships keeled over and sunk. You also see in the sand like the importation of what look like giant bodies, although it looks like those corpses have been removed at this point.
Is there some sort of like harbor master or some sort of authority down here that we could like approach?
Yeah, you could find a harbor master relatively quickly. He's a very busy man, but if you ask for a minute of his time, he can share it with you.
Sure. Well, if we find the guy, Caldrus will kind of take point and say, hey, we're adventurers on the road and happen to come into town just after the attack. We have been to several other cities along the coast and further inland that have also been attacked, and if you can spare a moment, we're kind of curious to see if there was any indication of what the giants were after and why they attacked here.
All right. As he's guiding the people around, he will tell you that it seemed like it was just a supply raid. They raided several of the warehouses, stealing food and various, it's just kind of not just food, but also trade goods and that sort of thing. He's like, I've never seen such piracy, and you don't have to do an insight check to know that he's obviously lying about that. He's got like an eye patch on and he's missing a couple fingers.
He's literally a pirate.
Yes.
Well, all right. Were you trying to ping something?
Nope, I'm just messing with my screen.
Okay. Well, I'll kind of thank him for his time and say that once he's gone back to doing stuff, I'll turn to Ryle, because Ryle was there for the other previous giant attacks, and to a lesser degree Volk has some experience here, and say, well, it's interesting to note that some of the giants seem to be after very specific artifacts, whereas others seem to simply be stockpiling, as if they're preparing for, like Zephyros said, the ordning is out of whack, so that they might be vying for power, and how you get power is by defeating your enemies, and how you do that is by having the most supplies to your troops. So I feel like some of the giants are seeking out war reserve material, whereas some of the others seem to be seeking out magical artifacts, I guess.
Well, from what I understand about the frost giants, they seem to be more raiders, and this kind of does fit in with what they do, at least what I learned back in Mirabar.
Yeah.
But as to their entire plan, what they're trying to do, I don't know. I guess stockpiling is as good a guess as any.
Well, you said they come from Svardborg?
That is the word on the street, yes.
So perhaps they're just hitting human cities along the coast and taking the supplies back in order to best be supplied if a war among the giants comes to pass.
It could be. But now that you mention it, could I use the I can't remember the name of that
Vonadad.
the Vonadad. I use that to look for any adamantine in the area.
Okay. Give me a D100 roll, and roll. The higher you roll, the better the chances you find something.
Typical
No, you don't.
Varus.
Nope. No, we haven't been Varus in several months now. It's okay. But you don't trigger anything on the rod.
Okay, well, it was definitely not one of the large deposits of adamantine, like in Trabor.
So at this point, Calder says, I think our best bet is to head south. That's where Harshnag was last seen going. They're looking for help in Helmshold. Neverwinter is a massive city. We will be able to get more information there, hopefully. It's also the seat to one of the teleportation circles, so it gives us the best chance of going where we need to go next. And I feel like that leaves us the most options open, whereas if we set north, not only do we only have one thing calling our attention up there, we may find ourselves getting snowed in and stuck in 10 towns for the winter.
Well, it sounds good to me.
But I am alright if anyone else has objection to that.
None here.
All right. So where are you off to? Hello?
Hey.
We're headed in the direction of Port Last.
Okay. Are you going overland, or are you taking the wizard up on his offer to Bamfia?
We're going overland.
I agree with overland because I don't want to get a huge debt for the sake of 4-day. Like if we were saving a month travel, if he was teleporting us from Luskan to the Shining Sea or something, and we were like really getting something, all right. But 4 days on the road between two major cities, I think we can handle it.
All right.
Famous last
There.
words.
Yep, famous last words. Do you guys stay in the city another night, or do you, because it's probably about 12, 1 o'clock right now, or do you head out for the afternoon to save half a day?
Well,
It is a 3.5 day journey to Port Last by road.
If it's a 3.5 day journey, then we have a half day. Let's set out.
Okay.
Don't let me make all the decisions, guys.
No objections. I think we pretty much decided this. That was what our plans was. To
All right.
go down.
I think we decided that like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So you guys head out for Port Last. I will go ahead. It has been. We will go ahead and just skip right there. We guys won't make your roll for anything. But as you approach, again, there's a lot of cliffs along the seawall here, and the road just kind of goes up along it. I'm not sure if anybody besides Hunter has ever driven along the road from like between LA and San Diego. It's very much like that. But as you come to the cliffs and you see the port lying below you, it looks like you're a little too late. The town looks like it is smoldering, and you can there's a low, like a fog and smoke in the evening air obscuring the vision.
Like the whole town is ruined.
Looks pretty ruined, yeah. And you can see kind of on the seashore, 2 boats pulled up on the beach.
Caldrus is gonna kind of say, "Well, I don't mean to. I don't. It sounds bad to say, but I'm kind of glad we didn't take up the wizard on his offer. I think if we had been teleported here, that we wouldn't have made much of a difference in defending the town, and either would find ourselves in debt needlessly, or worse, any kind of motions towards the smoldering town below."
Yeah, that was kind of my thought. It's a shame, though. Can we go through and search for survivors?
Well, the ships are still here? Question mark.
The ships. Yep, you see 2 ships pulled up. You don't see any giant figures in the fog.
We may want to skirt further east and get out of sight of the town, and either wait for them to leave or simply go around and head south to Neverwinter.
Yeah. The town is quite large. Why don't you guys give me perception checks?
Perception checks in D&D.
All right. Volk and Caldrus, you guys don't see anything in the fog. Is not a lot going on there. Ryle, the city's fairly large, it looks like. You're kind of coming down, the road comes down the side of a cliff. Again, the sun's setting, there's a fog and there's smoke, but it's a sizable looking town, and you can hear, shouts coming from the distance, echoing along the cliffs. But you're looking at those ships. The ships look unguarded, for the best you can tell.
Oh, that's still a boat.
That was my thought. Either that or sinking them. I think this is worth a try. I think we should,
Now,
yeah.
kind of help me imagine here. I don't need like an exact number, but seeing the ships and knowing what I know about the rough size of a frost giant, are we talking like 12 people fit on a boat? Or are we talking like 40 people fit on a boat?
You were told by the knight that you met on the road that they were about a dozen per boat.
Okay, awesome.
And there are 2 boats.
I think we should try and sneak over to the boats and either destroy them or steal one.
Where? Well, a couple of questions come to mind. I don't know. Caldrus doesn't know anything about sailing, and I'm guessing that a giant boat is designed to be piloted by somebody of larger stature than I. But 2, in relation to the town, like Port Last has cliffs north and south of it, so I'm guessing that the boats are just in the harbor near town. So how hard would it be to get to the harbor without being noticed?
You think the fog would probably help you with that, and the fact that you're, human sized and not giant sized.
Caldris is going to ask the companions, do we want to attack the boats while we have the opportunity and have our wagon and supplies tucked out of the way somewhere to the north? Or did we want to loop around town and be on the south side so that if we're caught during the attack, we can try to escape towards Neverwinter? We have the advantage now. I'm just worried about what happens if we get caught. Okay, we go now.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys sneak down around there. You don't make any rolls. The giants are occupied. The sun is setting. There's that heavy fog coming up off the sea. So you are able to get down to the ships. And there are two of them, one of them loaded high with booty.
Do I see any weaponry and that kind of stuff, or is it all trade good?
Give me a perception check. Also, do you climb in the boat to look at it, or are you trying to judge from the shore?
Kind of judging from the shore. Like, does it look like they're stealing human armaments and stuff as well, or are they after things that they can use?
Gotcha. Go ahead and give me perception checks. So yes, it looks like the big sacks you've seen the fire giants carrying. Looks like a lot of that. You do see food and like just base supplies, lumber, stones and that sort of thing. The stuff for masonry. You also see, you see several sacks full of loaded down with shit.
Are these ships sail driven or oared?
Looks like they have both.
Jerks.
Also, with that check, you will see some hulking figures on one of the boats. It looks like a large dog of some sort, but much bigger than any dog you've ever seen.
Double fuck.
Actually, I think you would have seen one. You would have seen the Winter Wolves when you fought the Frost Giants that one time.
Oh yeah, we did get in a fight with a dog.
Yep.
Well, what do you think we should do from here? Burn the boats?
Did you not want to keep one?
Ryle is... I kind of want to try and steal the one loaded down.
Will your golems be able to, like, man oars? Do you think that Do you think that we, as 4 adventurers and 4 animated golems, can pilot the craft, even if at like a limping status?
I think there's only one way to find out.
Well, I'm all for dying in a tragic boat raid, grand theft watercraft.
All right.
So, next question. Our wagon full of shit. Are we getting it on the boat? Are we...
The gangplank is down. You could get it on the boat.
Is the one loaded with shit have winter wolves on it?
Yes.
Alright, it'll be exciting. I'm ready when y'all are.
Alright, so you can board the boat. The wolves are waiting for you, but you are obviously expecting them as well, so you're not those surprise rounds. You just kind of charge up. Give me a moment here. I'm trying to set up a... is there no fill on here?
You can change the background of a map on the page edit tool, the blue page up at the top.
Yes, I know that, but I'm trying to make it... There's a shore. I'm trying to make a shoreline for it.
Oh. I don't know.
But I don't see a fill. That's interesting.
Draw a shape and just make like a big brown box and then freehand the shore as needed.
Yep, I guess. All right, there's the shore. Actually, that doesn't work either. 'Cause it draws a shape, doesn't fill it in. Oh, well, fuck it.
When you're using draw shape, the first box is the outline, the second box is the interior. So like the black shape I put behind the words on every town.
What do you mean the first box?
If you go to the eye and then you go to draw shape, and you click draw shape, there's mine's purple, I assume yours is blue square.
Right.
And then right after that there is a transparent square right now.
Oh, I see. Okay, I gotcha.
And then I don't know if you could just like send that to map and background layer so that the grid appears above it.
Absolutely. That's what I was looking for. All right, very good. I'm smart. SMRT.
I'm just winging it from a vague Roll20 knowledge.
I knew there was a way of doing it. I was just brain farting hardcore. All right. That's better. Who shouldn't be there? Bard shouldn't be there. All right, and we need Winter Wolves. All right, there are your wolves. And we'll need to roll initiative. You guys can see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, just making sure. To roll initiative, by the way, Volk, all you gotta do is click your token and then click the initiative button on your sheet, and it'll roll in automatically on that little chart.
Ah, I have the wrong tool selected. Damn, didn't beat the dogs.
All right, and Volk rolled a 23. All right, looks like he's all in there. Descending. All right, so you guys are running up the gangplank. We'll just say it's right there in front of the ship. You guys put yourself in whatever order you like. And it is Volk's turn.
Don't catch the ship on fire.
I will. Those are big wolves, huh?
They are big wolves.
One might say they are giant.
They are large creatures. So they take up the 10-foot square area. You guys are slightly oversized. That's fine.
That's fine. We're using our imagination aided by visual aid.
Yep. We'll say they're within about 20 feet of each other.
20 feet of each other. Okay. Um.
Got any sweet AoE?
Yeah. But it'll run the ship down.
It's the cost of being a wizard, I feel.
Yeah. I'll just
What about like a sleep spell, or can you fear one of them? What kind of stuff you got?
nothing.
You're like a 5th level wizard. You're like halfway to goddom.
I got a longbow.
Hold on, let's see what you got here. Let me take a look.
I'll cast haste on the paladin.
That can also be good.
Is a good move. That's one additional attack, I think.
One additional attack, yes. And
Plus
also
2
more.
to AC.
Mhm.
And advantage on deck saves.
Also, since you don't want to, Fireball is prepared, but you don't want to cast the thing on fire. Magic Missile cast at higher levels is a very happy spell. That does surprising amounts of damage. Yep, doesn't miss. And it gets a +1. You're always guaranteed 1 for every missile. So if you cast it at 3rd level, you're guaranteed to do a minimum of 10 damage, and it could be quite a bit more. Which isn't bad.
Noted.
Okay, but Verabra, you have haste cast on you.
Nope.
Sorry, you said the paladin, right?
Caldrus.
Caldrus. I said Caldrus.
You said
Said
Verabra.
Verabra.
Shut up. That's what I meant. All right, Wolf is going to sit there growling at you, but he has been told to guard the ship, and you're not on the ship yet. Caldrus, your turn.
I'm going to run forward and attack a wolf. I am looking up real quick whether, because haste gives me a second attack action, whether that means I swing 4 times or 3.
3. You can take 1 extra attack action just for 1 attack.
Yeah.
I just figured since you had the Sword of Giants laying, it'd be good.
Unfortunately, Winter Wolves are not giant type.
Oh.
It would have been good against it would have been extra against the ogres, but not against.
So extra attack just reads when you take the attack action, you can attack twice. So I would take the attack action and attack twice, and then this lets me use the attack action. Oh, okay, but only one.
But the spell specifies.
It would help if I like read the spell instead of just like, assuming things, I guess. All right, so I'm gonna run forward, and I'm just going to, swing twice, and then on the, if I hit on one of them, I plan to smite.
Okay. 14 is a hit. 9 is not a hit.
Okay, and then I'm going to smite on that 14, and smite. We haven't played in a while, I have to relearn Caldrus. I'm going to burn a 2nd level slot to do 3d8 damage.
Okay.
So 16 damage to the dog.
All right, and you get another attack.
Yep, I was just making sure that didn't kill it, and then I'm going to
It
swing again.
Did not.
Damn it, Caldrus.
Nope.
So because I hit it, oh wait, no, that's only if it's giant Ed and troll. I think.
Yep. It has to be giant type. These are not giant type creatures.
Yep.
All right. Wolf is going to charge up, and it will try and devour the cleric, or the paladin rather. He has advantage on these because there's two of them right next to each other. But only gets one attack, and with your extra AC, it's not going to hit.
Yeah, I'm at 22 currently, I think. Yep. 22.
Ryle.
All right, I am going to run up to one of the other wolf here, and block it from being able to get past us.
Okay.
I'm going to cast, with my bonus action, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon and miss completely. And with my action, I'm going to cast Booming Blade on this guy.
There you go.
There it is.
And it actually did some good damage.
And that's on the first one, right? The one that's in front of
Yes. Yes.
you? Okay. Alrighty, so 14, 26, not bad.
Wait, did you attack this one? Can he reach that one?
Sure.
Focus
So you
fire.
attack
Okay, then.
You can attack the same one that Cal just attacked previously?
Yeah, I didn't think I could actually reach it, so.
Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah.
We'll say yes. Okay. Very good. Thunderous roar goes off. Sounds, but the crashing waves dampen the sound a bit, as does the mist. And back to Volk.
I will. Are they within 10 feet of each other now?
Yes.
I'll cast Grease on them.
Okay. Excellent.
Um,
So they both have to make dex saves, I believe, correct?
Mhm.
yeah.
What is your spell save DC, Mr. Volk?
15.
All right. Despite having a plus, it's +1, I guess. All right. So yes, they do actually both fail that.
Amazing. I love you so much right now.
Thank you.
All right. First wolf is going to try and stand up. He succeeds. Is that the beginning of his turn or is it the end of his turn, though?
It should be. He should be okay to start its turn by using half movement speed to stand up.
Right. Okay, so he stands up. He will then try to attack you, and then he's going to fail his dex save because he's going to end his turn there. But he's going to make that save at the end, so he's going to keep his feet.
Okay.
But he will then try to attack. There's just two of you there now, so he will use his cold breath. So I need both Ryle and Caldris to give me dexterity saves. DC is 12.
Damn. Double damn.
All right. Ryle, you take 13 damage. Caldris, you take 26.
Cal, just you take 10. I'll use my Argibergation thing to absorb the 16 damage.
Oh, the abjuration. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So
I love you.
cold,
Continue.
the wolf stands up. He blasts you with the cold breath. You try to get your shield up in time. It fails. However, a magical shield appears in front of you and protects you. All right. And Ryle, you take 13. And
All right.
Ryle, it's your turn.
Okay. I am going to. You said this one was prone, right?
This one's wounded. This one's prone.
Knock it out of the park. Attack the prone one.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to use spiritual weapon on the prone one, and still somehow manage to miss. I guess.
Nope, 14 hits.
Oh, nice. So it does. Wow. 5 whole damage, and then I'm going to hit it with booming blade.
Okay.
And I should have advantage.
Yep.
So 15 damage.
All right.
Oh. Wait a minute. I have advantage on dexterity savings throws on account of haste.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So with that, you would have.
Save to take 13.
Yes. Yep. So you can have your shield back, Volk.
Okay.
Because he was able to save it down to 13.
Yeah, I'm okay with the 13. 26 was a little dicey, but I'm okay with the 13.
Okay. Sorry.
No, you're good. I forgot that I was hasted, so that's my bad.
You helped him already with the haste. You didn't have to help him again with the shield.
Making sure I got my HP right. Okay, I'm good.
All right.
I'm thinking I'm just gonna wail on this guy, but I'm looking at my sweet moonbeam spell and wondering if this was the time to do it. But I'm gonna just wail on this guy while I have advantage.
All right. I think I actually had Ryle go and couch Spider Ball. Fuck it.
Oh.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Oops.
It's my mistake. That is a hit.
Okay, I will swing again.
That is a hit.
Is this sword doing the right amount of damage? Yes, I just rolled shit.
And one more attack.
Yeah, it pops up extra box up to ask me if I'm attacking a giant, so it takes
I gotcha.
2 clicks to do the thing. And I'm gonna just, if that didn't kill it, I'm going to smite it.
Yep, didn't go. You're attacking the one that was prone, right?
Correct.
Yeah, not dead.
First level smite for 7 damage.
Okay. Still up. I mean, both these things are bloody now. However, they are still alive.
Okay.
All right. That wolf is going to stand up. He will also use his cold blast.
Before he does that, he takes 1d8 damage from moving.
All right. Going to give it to me.
Ooh.
Does that kill it, maybe?
Does not kill it. Nice try, though. So he's going to get that. You guys both have to give me dexterity saves, please. All right. Caldris, you take 8. Ryle, you take 16.
Ouch.
And then he'll have to save in the grease.
Raul, you take 2.
Thank you.
All right. It also manages to stay up. The grease stays in effect. They'll have to make their save again at the end of the next turn, but for the moment, they are standing in the grease. Ryle, you already took your turn because I'm stupid. So Volk.
All right. The bloodied one.
Yeah, they're both bloodied.
Oh, they're both bloodied. Okay.
Both bloodied.
This one's probably taking more. The south one.
I'll cast the second level magic missile.
Okay. So that's 4d4 plus 4. Okay. So I did 15 damage. It yelps in pain. It keeps its feet, but just barely. First wolf is first off going to try and recharge that breath. It does not, needs a 6 to do it. So he is going to try and bite a Caldris. He is unable to. Caldris.
I'll start out by swinging at the southern doggy.
Okay. Oh, and then hold on, that wolf has to make a dexterity save.
All right.
The first one. Nope, he fails at that time. Goes prone again.
Still gonna start my first swing at the south dog.
Okay.
Did it die?
Was that the 19? Yes, it did.
Okay. Then I will then swing at the north dog.
Okay, with advantage.
For 7.
Still up.
And then
And 5. Okay, still up.
I'm
prone,
going.
but alive.
Yeah, I'm going to use my movement to kind of skirt around it in a manner that will not provoke, but separate me and the cleric, and also I'm assuming that we're like the wagon and stuff needs to come up here as well. So I want to focus this dog back towards me, not my friends.
Gotcha. You can absolutely do that. Please give me a dexterity save.
Sure. Oh, advantage to bring me up to a 7.
Yep. So you remember just a step too late that there's grease on the deck,
Right.
and you fall over prone.
Hey. I'm gonna have words with the wizard that we draw our grease on the floor.
Ryle.
That's my
Okay,
bad.
I'm gonna watch Caldrus do his thing, and I can tell the golems to stop moving the cart and fire at this last. Actually, never mind. I'm gonna tell them to keep on moving the cart, and I'm going to attack with booming blade.
Okay.
Wow, look at that advantage.
Yep. Nope. All right. Spiritual weapon.
It takes a bonus action to command the golems.
Ah, very good. Wait, but you said you didn't command them. You told them to keep doing this what they were doing.
Well, that's still command.
Okay. So in that case, we are back to the wizard, to Volk.
Just firebolt the wolfie.
Okay. I believe at 5th level you get an extra D there, so it'd be 2d6, yes? D10 rather. Yep. All right, 9 damage. Alrighty. Looking pretty weak, but still managing to keep itself together. It will stand up. Give me the damage there for the thunder. Well, you missed. Never mind.
I missed.
You missed. It cannot recharge. It's got the prone paladin there next to it. It will try to bite him. That way he still gets advantage.
But I'm all slippery and much harder to bite.
You are, however, he is still, because of your haste, you're able to dodge out of the way and does not hit you.
Haste the real MVP. I miss Haste.
All right. Caldrus.
I'll stand up using 15 foot of movement speed. I move out of the grease because I don't have to roll again unless I end my turn there. And I attack the dog.
All right.
9, I believe, misses.
9 does miss.
5.
Actually, hold on. I forgot to give the dog a dex save. He stayed his feet. Okay. 23 hits, though. Still up.
I don't feel like burning another smite, considering.
But you get one more. Do you get another attack? You
I-
know, the 16.
I-
Actually,
yeah.
you did there. So yeah, the 11 is enough to kill it.
Oh, I thought you said still up after the 11, so that's why I was saying
No,
I end my turn.
I just saw the 5, not the 11. All right, you guys made a bit of ruckus, but you are, but the way is clear.
Okay,
Okay.
get the
I'm
cart up here, and let's get the gangplank, like, pulled now.
Okay, I'm gonna help the golems get up onto the boat, and I'm going to physically move the gangplank and bring it up on board.
Okay. How are you guys planning on getting this boat off the? It's beached. It's a beached boat.
Oh, I thought it was at, like, docks, because the town had docks.
No, they
Okay then.
these are raiders. They beached it.
Ew.
Okay.
I did say earlier they were beached.
Yeah, but we're dumb, Ken. We're dumb.
I'm not just
we
dropping this on you. It is
we,
beached.
we were in the boat stealing mode, not the figuring out what to do once we did that. So we met objective A, steal boat.
We've acquired the boat. Caldrus, we need to get out and push this thing. I'm going to get all the golems to come out and help push. So it's me with 19 strength, Caldrus with however many strength he's got, and 4 golems with like 10 strength.
Okay. Go ahead and
Does
give
it seem feasible for that to work?
I don't know, but I'm going to try.
Do you have something that can help?
I have a Phantom Steed.
No, that wouldn't help. I was wondering if you had like a spell that would increase their ability scores of some kind. I don't think.
And we don't have any potions of giant strength or anything, I don't think.
You know what? I was thinking, you know what? I really should get enhanced ability today. And I didn't make the change.
Didn't one of you have a potion of giant strength?
I'm checking the records.
Oh, wrong sheet.
It's not in Team Treasure, so if somebody took it, they took it for themselves.
Okay, well, I'm going to cast Bless on me, Caldris, and one of the golems.
Okay.
I'm gonna lay on hands myself for 20 points.
All right.
And I'm going to start pushing.
Alrighty. Go ahead and you guys can give me just the two of you. The golems aren't going to be terribly helpful, but they will give you the help action. So you can both give me athletics checks with advantage plus your D4 for bless.
Don't mind me clicking twice.
So a 20 for me and a 24 for Caldris.
All right, at least 24. So yeah, you actually are able to push that off into the ocean and able to start pushing it all, to get it out into sea.
I use prestidigitation to clean the deck.
Okay, grease wears off it over time, but you can use prestidigitation to like push the stuff off. Give me a perception check.
Everybody?
No, this is just for Volk. You guys are climbing back on board. All right. There are several sacks here full of shit. There's also, you see a chest up against one wall containing just a pile of silver coins. There is a sleigh pushed against one end, loaded with animal pelts. And then there's one sack kind of set right next to the, giving kind of like a place of honor next to the treasure chest.
Before we do that, I could tell Volk, burn the other ship.
Well, is there a way that a armored paladin can get up onto the ship once it starts scooting?
It'll take him some time. I'm not going to make you make an athletics check just to climb up there.
Okay, I didn't know if he needed to like start throwing me a rope or whatever, but just so we know.
You guys can figure out how to get him on there. But yeah, so you guys get on there. You put it takes 2 of the constructs per ore, but they can ore it, and 2 of the 2 mighty warriors can take an oar and paddle it out to sea a bit. It's slow going, but you're able to get out a bit.
How close would you say we were to the other ship?
50 feet.
Volk, burn the ship.
I was gonna say, is that like throwing distance?
For what? For you or for?
Yeah, me as a paladin with 17 strength, could I chuck oil 50 feet?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well then.
You still got Bless.
I'm gonna try to throw one of our jugs of oil from our bullseye lantern at the other ship at the same time that Volk does whatever magical fire he's about to do.
Okay, give me an acrobatics. Give me just a ranged attack roll. So D20 plus proficiency plus dex.
Sure. It's going in the ocean, guys.
That's good enough.
It's a big ship, yeah?
Yeah, it's a big ship.
I was just doing it to prove a point.
All right. And as soon as it goes crash, and you see the oil spreading, and then all of a sudden it goes up in flames. You guys are about 50 feet away from the shore as you start seeing large figures coming towards the smoke, and the giants see that you are stealing their boat with all their loot on it.
I move the motion that we run.
Yeah, I'm gonna start really turning these oars.
Okay. Why don't you all go ahead and give me athletics checks?
Oh boy. Really? Fucking paladin? Come on. The fucking wizard crit.
You've got a 1d4.
All right, you guys have managed to get away from the thing a bit. So you got out of range of. You're still in range of the rocks when they throw them, but they have disadvantage at it. So let's see if any of them hit you.
Quick. Cast the fucking hut.
All right, with disadvantage, I set the DC for 20. Only one of them comes crashing down. It smacks a hole in the deck, exposing the underside. But it's for the moment you are safe as you roll yourself away. The fact that two of you rolled over 20, with a bless, means that you guys are able to get away. That was what I set it for. So,
as the stone breaks through the deck, Caldrus is going to keep rowing and just scream to the top of his lungs, "Quit breaking my ship, assholes!"
Okay, as this is going on, is there... Alright, you know what? We don't need the cart. I'm going to take the cart, or I'm going to stop, and I'm going to ask Volt to, or Veribrar to hop on my oar. And I'm going to go over there and start casting Mend as much as I can. If I need to use more material, just start ripping stuff off the cart.
okay.
If I need to, I can cast my my channel divinity, but it takes an hour.
You can take as much time as you need to. Yeah, you've got time.
Okay. How big is this hole?
It's boulder sizes, probably 10 or 15 feet by 10 or 15 feet.
Yeah, that's channel divinity sized. So I'm going to take spare metal from the cart, however much it'll take, probably about a quarter, half the cart, and fill the hole. So we're going to have this nice wooden boat with a metal patch on it.
Did we have a metal cart this time around?
Yeah, we had a metal cart. That's all I can make.
Okay. I didn't know if we bought one in Mirabar. Bought like a wooden cart.
I also realized that we were going up north, and having a metal cart with, going in the snow and sitting on a metal cart would probably not be a good idea. But it was too late.
All right. So let's take a quick 5-minute break because I need to use the restroom and get some water, and then I'll tell you guys what you find there in the boat. And then we'll figure out exactly how. Do any of you have any experience in character with boats?
Fucking zero.
I saw a boat once.
Ryle, do you have? Does your cleric abilities give you any abilities with, like, vehicles?
Wait, maybe.
Okay. Well, you look that up. I'm gonna get some water and go to the bathroom. Be right back.
Quick, everybody check their backstory.
Quick, everyone change to be a sailor.
I only get land vehicles.
Yeah, I'm a faction agent, so I don't get that.
All right. Let's check the cleric spell list.
Yeah, can you, like, ask God for some sailing lessons real quick?
I'm looking.
I can speak with animals, so if we happen across any dolphins or sea turtles, we can fasten them to the craft and have them tow us.
That sounds like as good a plan as any.
While you're casting your channel divinity, can I cast alarm 4 times as a ritual?
It'd probably take less time. Depends on if Ken will let you.
To get my shield, pumping my shield up. Is that a thing?
Oh, Ken's gone. Unfortunately, I need to be level 10.
This is where
Oh
I
wait,
try
so
and
you
get.
don't have a channel divinity?
Oh, I do, but my channel divinity is channel undead and build anything under 100 gold.
See, this is where I get kind of cheeky and try to make Ken let me use Fine Steed to get a nautical campaign steed. I got Misty Step. I forgot that I have Misty Step.
Busy step 2.
All right,
I
well,
don't.
I'm gonna grab a drink while Ken's still gone, so that I can make it through the rest of this without having to run away again.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let's see here.
I'm looking.
Okay, unfortunately, Divine Intervention is not going to work. You're not at 10th level. So, no. So in the meantime, let's see. How many sacks are there on there? You guys spend some time. Give me 20d6. I'm sorry, give me 10d6. You only got one of the ships. So I guess Caldrus, give me 10d6.
He stepped away for a second.
Oh, okay, then Ryle, give me 10d6. Okay. You have 3,000 silver pieces. And you have a total of 41... of 410 gold worth of gold coins. You also have the pelts. Do you think are going to be worth? The pelts are worth 300 gold total for the animal skins. And then Volk, give me a D100. $67. You also have in there. Actually, let's see. A potion of mind reading. I want to make it. I should have made you roll an Arcana on that. Oh well, fuck it. You have identified. You would have identified it. It's a potion of mind reading.
Is that goes to the party loot?
We can put it in the general party fund, or you can put it in somebody's individual inventory. It's up to you. Up to you guys.
I'm back.
Okay.
Back
Got a
again.
bunch of loot, and you got a potion of mind reading.
Well, let's find somebody that knows how to sail so that I can read their mind.
Yes, you will. I'm sure you'll find that when you're already out on the ocean.
Anything could happen.
Yeah.
Okay, I put everything in the team treasure because I don't want to do math right now.
Okay.
All right.
I can't. If we took a long rest, I could get augury, and augury could tell us how screwed we are.
Well,
All right,
I feel like we spent half a day traveling.
No, it's nighttime now because you
Yeah.
you left in the middle of the afternoon. It was 3.5 days. You had a little fight. You're off on the ocean now. You're out on the ocean at night and you don't know what you're doing.
So, time for a long rest. I'll take first watch.
Why don't you all give me survival checks at disadvantage to see if any of you can figure out what the fuck you're doing?
No, we don't necessarily have to take a long rest. I mean, augury literally will just tell us how screwed we are.
Okay. Well, everybody give me those survival checks.
Who is this wizard? This
All right.
strength, crit, and survival knowledge.
All right. Well, you know what? If Volk fucking apparently grew up on a boat because he knows exactly what to do, and it's slow going, but you guys are able to be. You're at least safe on the ocean, and you can take a long rest and do whatever you need to do.
The good news is that we have the golems and they don't need to sleep per se, so I feel like they could at least hold our position. Does this thing come with an anchor?
Yes. However, that is big enough and heavy enough that none of you can move it.
Okay.
All right, Caldrus, we push the oars. That's what we do.
Yeah. What I was saying was, good news is at least we can sleep in shifts and keep somebody plus the golems on the oars and point us vaguely south. Now, let's just hope that when a frost giant boat comes pulling in the Waterdeep, we are not immediately murdered.
Are you going all the way to Waterdeep?
Not Waterdeep, Neverwinter. Sorry, I'm
Okay.
not looking at the map and I'm dumb sometimes.
Well, we don't really know what we're doing, so we probably think we can.
Plus, we got the tiny hut.
Does the tiny hut conceal the ship? No, I'm just playing.
Now, 10-foot radius. This ship is much bigger than the hut. You can cast it. You can cast it on the deck. Now, remember though, if you yourself leave the hut disappears. You have to stay in it the whole night if you do that, which is fine.
Yeah.
Just be
that's
aware.
fine.
So yeah, you guys can take shifts. The rest of you can, Ryle and Cal just can take shifts going in and out of the hut, and you guys can survive through the night.
Can I, since, are we taking a long rest, yeah?
Yep.
Do I have to take the full 8 hours, or does that trance thing let me?
The way it works for elves is it's 4 hours of trance and then 4 hours of just not doing anything strenuous.
Yeah, not fighting, but you don't have to be asleep, so you could be
Can I
hanging
cast
out in your
ritual
hut.
stuff?
Can you cast what?
Ritual stuff during that time?
Depending on the ritual. What are you thinking?
Alarm.
Oh yeah, you can definitely cast alarm.
So I can cast alarm. Oh, well. Never
But
mind.
The problem with alarm is like you can cast it on the deck of the ship, but it's not going to do anything for when you you can't cast it on the ocean.
Yeah, my thought process was I was gonna cast alarm a bunch of times to get my abjuration shield back, but I get it back anyway, right?
Yeah, you get it back when you. Well, I assume in the new day you're going to cast mage armor again.
Yeah,
so you'll
mage
get it-
armor.
So you'll get it back then.
Okay, never mind. Sorry,
No worries.
waste of time.
All right. So do we have any food?
I assume we have a
the,
bunch.
the giants had a bunch of food on board.
Mhm.
Okay. Do we
Right.
have water?
Yes, there's a barrel or two of water on board.
I have one more spell. I'm trying to figure out what I need to prepare.
Yep, and I believe that as a wizard, Volk, you can also redo your spells once a day if you so choose.
Oh, now I remember what I was going to do. Sending. Because we now have 20 angry frost giants.
Okay, and what are you going to be sending?
I don't know yet. I'm just preparing that spell.
Okay. All right, so you guys are heading south to Neverwinter. Yeah, I'm looking at the speed of boats now. I was expecting you to destroy the boats, not to steal the fucking boats.
2 paths diverge in Yellow Woods, and the party will burn down the goddamn
Yeah.
forest.
And to like go explore the town and kill a couple of the giants. You could have snuck up and fought them one or two at a time. My cat's going crazy, but no, you're just gonna leave them all the fucking. Anyways,
While we're doing this, Keldris, your contact over there in Neverwinter, what was his name?
Help me out here. Who are we talking about?
Well, basically, I need to warn someone about the 20 frost giants we just left on the coast over there, and preferably someone to know about the city that just got burned down.
Yeah,
I was thinking-
I didn't know if you were talking about somebody explicitly that we had done in this campaign, or if you're asking if Caldris knows a Harper agent in Neverwinter.
Well, I was thinking about the orc guy, but then again, he was in Mirabar, wasn't he?
The orc guy is in Everland.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, I guess
We
I would
can
ask
contact him and ask him to spread the information through the Harper network. We can ask the Harper that we met in Everland at the tower where the teleportation circle is, or we could send a message to Doratha, question mark. Also Harper agent, also, well, she's not in a town that has a circle though, I don't think.
What does the sending do exactly? You can send a message to anyone?
I can send a short message to somebody.
Send one to Hashnag.
We're not familiar with Harshnag.
It's gotta be somebody you're familiar with.
Oh.
So yeah,
Okay, then I guess I have to
send a
send it to
message
him.
to the Harper agent in Everland and say, we must get word to Neverwinter about the destruction of Portlast and the 20 fire giants, and figure out a way to do that in 25 words.
How do I spell last? Is it L-L-A-S-T?
Double L A S T.
And let them know that we're coming on a frost giant ship, not to attack us.
Can we go back to the overland map?
No.
Okay.
I'm really surprised you guys got that boat off that fucking beach.
Hey, it's because the wizard crit and strength checks.
It's our boat now. What will we name her?
That is a good question.
The Cardinal on the Sea.
Really pressing that cardinal luck, are we?
Oh, look, it's a Kraken. Roll initiative. No, I think a Kraken would be too mean. That's TR-23. Oh, look, it's a dragon turtle. You guys have fought one of those before.
I feel like I have in a previous life.
Was it fun?
No.
Uh,
All right, I got 15 more words. Anything else? Or I got a few more words. Anything else?
how many words?
12 more words.
12.
12 more words.
Will they know who's sending the message, or do we need to put that in the message?
Let's find out. That's an interesting question.
The creature hears a message in its mind,
Yes.
recognizes you as the sender if it knows you. Okay, yeah. We're bound for Neverwinter on longboat, on Giant's longboat. Just so that Neverwinter knows that we're coming. I don't know if people along the coast immediately recognize the Giants' boats to mean giants.
Okay. Port last destroyed. 20 fire giants loose nearby. Warn Neverwinter and surrounding areas. Bound for Neverwinter on Frost Giant longboat. Please warn Neverwinter.
Well, we need a clarifier in there. We need to clarify that we are bound for Neverwinter, not that there are more frost giants bound for Neverwinter. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you put in "we are" in front of bound. It makes it 25 words. That's exactly where you should be.
Copy.
Okay. That's what I will send to that orc we met.
Okay. Very
Or
good.
one of the other Harper agents over there in Everland that I met.
Okay, very good. You are able to send that to one of the Harbor agents in Everland. And let's see here. It's 3 miles an hour. You guys have... It's not terribly far from last Neverwinter. It's only about
Man, third level spell this in a test message.
40
At least
miles.
you got third level spells.
It's true.
30 miles is about 10 hours or so. And you guys, we're gonna cut that. We're gonna say it's gonna take a day to get to Neverwinter from Port Last by sea because you guys are so slow because you're trying to move something that takes 4 or 5 frost giants with 4 puny people and 4 crazy automatons. So it takes a little while, but you are able to because the wizard rolled a goddamn crit on a fucking. You rolled a 23 and a 22 with disadvantage for knowing how to sail a boat. Apparently, the wizard is the best seaman in the history of the world. That's what she said.
Damn
it. So he is able to. Yep.
I was just looking. I was looking at that the spell. I wasn't casting it.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are able to get yourselves down to Neverwinter and pull into port at evening time on the next day. And apparently your message got through because there is a lot of curiosity as you debark, but no soldiers awaiting you.
There's always a lot of curiosity when I get off.
Yep. Oh, wonderful. There is, however, a small woman dressed in black, and she introduces herself as Ilsa, and she is your contact in the town. I'm sorry, yeah, in Neverwinter.
Well,
she says, "Well, to you, you're the ones who are setting a horde of giants upon the land."
Well, it's better than them being on the boat. They're faster that way.
She says, "That is true."
we left them without transportation or supplies or their dogs, so.
She nods and says, "We sent Lord Neverember has sent some soldiers up to see them. We've also got the giant that was in town under guard."
Who was in town?
She says, giants. He says he's from Waterdeep, but we've never heard of any giant. Who's ever heard of a giant coming from Waterdeep? Lots of strange sorts down there, but never heard of a giant.
Wait, he wouldn't happen to be named Harshnag, would he?
Something like that, yes.
Caldrus does like a little, you can tell he's excited, not quite to happy dance level, but like, oh my god. Well, if Harshnag's in town, we actually need to talk to him. We've been following his trail for some time now, and it's actually quite important that we get to talk to him.
Okay. She's surprised that you know who he is and says that she can arrange that. And she will guide you to a well-apportioned inn, quite large. And inside there is, crammed in a corner, a frost giant. He barely fits inside the common room. It's a very large inn, but he is, crammed himself in there. Looks like there's a loading dock to the back where he probably came in through. Next to him is what looks like a dragon skull, although it seems to have been adjusted to be like a helmet. He's got like a strap on it.
Oh, that's cool. Give me a second.
And she will. Okay.
I've not been keeping my notes. I'm trying to write things to put in my official notes later because it's been such an exciting half hour.
I was really looking forward to you guys crashing that boat like you crashed your last boat.
Hey, we don't talk about that. So once I see that it's a giant and a frost giant, and we've been looking for a frost giant, and supposedly this is Harshnag, Caldrus is going to, extend a greeting and say, greetings, giant. I presume that you are Harshnag.
He'll rumble at you and say, "I am Harshnag. Who might you be?"
Well, I am Caldris. I don't know if I ever gave Caldris a last name. I'm Caldris, and these are my companions. We've actually been trying to find you for some time. We're sorry for the circumstances that we find you under. Unfortunately, that's partially our fault. Some of your kin attacked Port Last north of here, so when Neverwinter found out about that, they got a little on edge.
He shakes his head and says, "My kin, most frost giants can't see past the point of their ugly, oversized noses." He looks down at you and says, "What are you doing, fighting frost giants?"
Well, so far it's mostly been the frost giants seeking out and fighting us. We certainly don't go looking for trouble that big. Let's hang on, let me look at the map. We had frost giants attack us, and an ally of ours north of Silvery Moon. They attacked Luskin right before we arrived, and attacked and destroyed Port Last a day or two before we were able to reach it.
He shakes his head and says, "Yes, there's my kin have caused many problems this past summer. I was heading north to try and take care of the problem when I was stuck here temporarily by the authorities. I'm sure they'll get word soon to let me go, but but thanks to you, my mission has been delayed."
Well, we'll certainly do what we can to make sure that the authorities are made aware of your non-affiliation with the Raiders. But we're actually lucky, in so many words, that you were detained, because we have been seeking you out for several weeks now. How long has passed? Several weeks, several months, I think. 2 months?
It's been probably close to 2 months.
Okay, we've actually been seeking you out for a couple of months. A cloud giant of all things told us that that we needed to seek you out due to the interruption that's currently happening in the ordning, and that you would be able to assist us, and that it was our destiny, if you can believe it, to rendezvous with you.
He's going to look down at you and say, lean down really close, uncomfortably close because he's so large, and say, "What was the cloud giant's name?"
Correct me if I'm wrong. Zephyros?
That is correct. And he will kind of put his hands down in his hands and say, "I hate that wizard." And then he'll sit up and say, "Apparently, you are supposed to be my companions, or perhaps me yours. It is good you found me before I headed north. I was heading to an ancient oracle, so I could try and find out what has happened to the ordning and what we can do to fix it. Perhaps you will come with me, and we will get some answers together."
Caldris is going to kind of check to his companions to make sure that they are on board with that.
Oh, yes.
I'll look at the frost giant. I'll extend a hand and say, "My name's Ralph Thorson. I'd be happy to accompany you."
He'll look a bit bemused, and he will reach down and shake your hand. By the way, for a giant, he's very soft spoken. Like, normally, anytime you've been in the presence of a giant, they're like echoing through the hills. He's loud, but he's not.
He's used to talking in confined spaces with little people?
Yes. He's obviously very accustomed to people.
And speaking of going north, We just so happen to have a ship. You wouldn't happen to know how to pilot one, would you?
He says, I have some experience with my people's longboats. I'm impressed that you small folk were able to guide one through the seas. They're quite unwieldy if you don't know what you're doing.
Well, I certainly didn't know what I was doing, but it seems my friend here spent a greater part of his youth reading, and turns out that that can in fact help.
He says, I would not have expected books to be so useful. He will pull out a map, quite large because it's for a giant, but you guys recognize the area north of here. And he tells you we are heading to the Eye of the Allfather. And he will point it out on his map, which is way out, all the way up here. He says we will have to pass by. Yes, we'll take the road to Mirabar, and then we will have to go up the valley of Kedron, and up a steep slope. It is an ancient place of my people, although it has been abandoned for many centuries. But hopefully the Oracle still holds power there, and we can get some answers.
Well, with the longboat, do you recommend that we sail for Luskin and then go overland, or should we take the high road out of town?
He says I would recommend taking the longboat to Luskin. That would be significantly quicker.
Well, we'll have to find some way to reach word to Luskin that we'll be arriving in a frost giant longboat. I believe their harbors have just put out the fires from the last time that one sailed into port.
He will leave that to you guys.
Yeah,
he's had trouble dealing with people this summer for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not asking him to. I'm speaking aloud that we need to remember that before we find ourselves in a particular jam.
All right. So yes, you guys have picked up a frost giant companion. He has a plus. Sorry, go ahead.
Does he like mint tea?
I quite enjoy mint tea. He's got a not really a coffee cup or a teacup. He's got like a whole kettle that he's drinking out of.
Nice.
But yes, if you're offering to make him some, he will gladly. You have now made a great friend because he quite likes mint tea.
Not me. Timbolt,
yes,
your servant.
Your servant. I just imagine your servant being invisible, but he has like a bow tie on, so there's just a bow tie bouncing around, making your tea for you.
That's accurate.
All right. So yes, if you guys wait around, it takes a couple days, but word does come to let him go. He's got diplomatic immunity as it was from Waterdeep. So you see, he's got his giant, he's got plate mail that he wears, and he has a great axe, so a big two-handed axe that he wields.
Since we got a couple of days and we're in a large town, I will, not right this second, but I will check the player's handbook for things I might be interested in procuring, perhaps better armor, shield, etc. And I will get back to you whether I make those purchases between tonight's session and next week.
Okay. Yes, you guys do have some time if there's any shopping you want to do, anything particular that you're looking for.
Cold weather gear.
You guys bought that back in Mirabar last week.
Okay.
I will go ahead and tell you guys can find. I'll give you a magic shop. Give me just a moment here.
How much gold is 3,000 silver?
It's 300 gold.
Yeah, just divide or multiply by 10 up and down.
Oh, it's 10. That's the exchange rate.
Everything is 10. So 10 copper to a silver, 10 silver to a gold, 10 gold to a platinum.
Except for
Electrum is different.
Electrum.
Yeah.
If you make me angry, I start giving you Electrum.
It's true, I've seen it.
How much of that it would be available for personal spending?
I think we divide it by 4. That's how we generally do it. You need more?
I don't know. Depends on what this magic shop yields. Probably not. It should be fine.
All right, so let's see here. So you find an alchemist shop. Inside there, he has multitudes of regular potions of healing. He has another Philater of Love, which I know you already have one of. There's a potion of growth, a potion of psychic resistance, and a potion of superior healing. You also have a weapons shop that has a harpoon. Actually, it's pretty interesting. When you attack with it and you hit, you gain 10% of the damage as temporary hit points. Minimum, round down, minimum of 1. There's also a pike that if you hit with it once a day, you can cast command with it with the word grovel, DC 12.
Once a day?
Once a day.
Unfortunately, I can't use either of those.
I can, but I just got a magical sword, which I feel like... Yeah.
Any scroll shops?
Yeah, the harpoon's a javelin, basically. Scroll shops? Sure, let's see here.
Caldus? Or, not Caldus. Fucking Ryle. What's that thing you did to my armor?
I just imbued it. Yes, I can swap it to another armor.
I meant,
okay, you said the harp.
Does it have to be metal armor, or does it carry over to any armor?
Yeah, I think it's just any armor. Let me check again.
I can look it up in between tonight, and we're getting towards the end of tonight's session, so I can do it between games.
Yeah, it's like 1 o'clock. I'm really tired, but
Okay, that's not the right link. Don't ignore that link. I was just checking something. So, As far as scrolls go, yes, there is a scroll of Death Ward, a scroll of Dispel Magic, a scroll of Dissonant Whispers, scroll of True Strike, and scroll of Everard's Black Tentacles. Let me just see if those are in the wizard's list.
You said the harpoon is a javelin?
Yeah.
no dispel magic is.
Dispel Magic definitely is.
Tentacles are. The only one I'm not sure about is True Strike. I know bards get that, but I'm not sure if wizards do.
Can you do a melee attack with a javelin?
Yes.
Or is it? Oh, you can.
Yep. Uses your strength. Uses your strength if you throw it too.
Okay. How much would this javelin cost?
The javelin would cost 250 gold.
Okay. And would the temporary HP count booming blade damage, or would it just be the melee attack?
This says 10% of the damage, so I guess any damage.
Okay, I want to buy this javelin.
Okay, they can be yours.
Gotta give it a sweet nickname. This is my boomstick.
So Death Ward is not a wizard spell, but it is a cleric spell and a paladin spell.
Yes, it'll be something that I take whenever we hit 7.
Right. It is. There's a scroll available for it in the scroll shop.
Well, I just used all my money.
Okay.
I haven't taken any money this session, but I have 700 gold if somebody needs money.
I don't think any of you can cast Dissonant Whispers. That's a bard spell. But the wizard can do Dispel Magic, Everard's True Strike. I think it's also Paladin.
What is the So I can't cast 4th level yet, but I could learn it.
Yeah, you can buy it and you can write it in your book. You just won't if you write in the book, you won't be able to cast it until you have that spell slot, but you'll have it ready at that time. You can also keep it as a scroll, and you can cast it
Once.
As a scroll.
as a scroll. Just
But
once.
it's consumed.
It's consumed.
Okay. I think I'll pass.
Okay. That's fun. That's a good spell. It was good for you because it looks like you're going for a build that's based more around like support and that sort of thing. That's a good spell because it does both damage and, battlefield control.
Oh, I thought it was only a 5 foot. I'm reading it's 20 foot.
Yep, 20-foot square. So 20 foot on a side.
Oh, how much does that cost?
That is a rare one. Rare items, I believe, go for quite a bit. 4th level spells are quite powerful. Most wizards you will run into do not have the ability to cast 4th level spells.
Mm-hmm.
So, Caldrus will kind of, after we talk to Harshnag, since we have a couple of days, I will return to Ilsa at some point and then kind of explain to her the information we've learned while on the road. And I will ask if there's anything that will assist the Harpers as we head north through Luskan, Mirabar, and toward the Eye of the Allfather.
She has no idea where the Eye of the Allfather is, but if you say you're going north, she doesn't have anything in particular. She does tell you to watch out for the wizards up in Luskan, because they are generally tricksy and dangerous.
Oh yeah, we know that one.
Yeah, but she says north, this time of year, there's not much going on up there.
Well,
because winter's getting ready to set in.
I'll keep an ear to the ground and we'll report back anything that we need to know about.
All right. She is more than happy to help you out there. She does ask that. Actually, she wouldn't bring that up if you don't bring it up. But yeah, so I think we're good to go for the night. Next session, you guys will take to the seas again. You have we'll say 3-day trip up to Luskan.
Gonna wave at some frost giants when we go by.
Well, there actually is a encounter table for the open sea. So.
I was mostly speaking of taunting the giants jokingly, not actually fighting anything.
I see. Well, you very well may end up fighting something on the ocean.
Okay, I take it back. I just realized 10% of 20 is 2.
Yes.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. I mean, two temporary hit points once a turn could be the difference between going down and staying up.
Yeah, but it's mostly going to be 1 because I rarely deal 20 damage.
Okay. Kind of curious how the fuck you have that on the open sea. All right. So next week, you guys get set off on your adventure. Now, real quick before we go, Matt did say we may need to adjust the date of our game again because based on his job. Would anybody have a problem moving to Mondays or Wednesdays if necessary?
Both days are fine with me.
I can't do Wednesdays, but I can do Mondays.
You can do Mondays? Okay. Hunter?
Both of those days are equal to me. My Mondays and my Wednesdays are the same, and my Tuesdays and my Thursdays are the same schedule-wise. I have nothing currently that would preclude me from either Monday or Wednesday.
Okay.
In fact, this game was originally my Monday game.
Right, this was originally Monday, so that's what I was thinking. That for most of us to be okay, I just want to make sure nothing has changed. We changed format previously. We'll be changing format again. if we need to move it. But I'll let you know this weekend once I hear from Matt.
Well, what about the time? Is it the same or?
It'll be the same time.
Okay.
I can do earlier. It's mostly Hunter that prevents us from going earlier because he's.
Well, I can edge towards earlier. We just hit the point of, so if we do 6 p.m. for you, Ken, that normally gives me like an hour to get home, get unwork, find food, whatever. But if you're cool with me like possibly inhaling food for like the first 15-20 minutes of the game, we can bump up to 6 if it means we can shut down earlier, which is better for me because now we're shutting down at like 10:30, and then I have to go do all of the things for work in the morning.
Okay, so that's fine. And then because now again that may change more when I do find a job. But at the moment I'm free, so we can start 30 minutes early. But so let's say 6:30 Pacific for Monday, depending on what Matt says. If Matt says that's no good, then we may have to find another new player. If anybody knows anybody, keep them in mind just in case we have to get in touch with them. But hopefully we just move to Mondays and we play again in 3 days. 4 days? 4 days.
Cool.
All right. Thank you all very much for your time. You guys have a dedicated place to go now.
Sweet. All right. Not only do we have an objective, we have a boat, we have one hell of a story to tell Matt, and tonight was a lot of fun. So good job on being a huge hero, Volk. You are the man.
Yep, that's what I do. I just do awesome stuff.
If you had all rolled under 10 on that survival check, you would have capsized the boat in the middle of the ocean. I'm just letting you know.
I have this sinking feeling that Caldress would not have survived that.
Boo.
Yeah, Grease is a great spell for low levels, and it's surprising they kept making that save. How many people did you knock over with one Grease spell in that fucking monastery, Caldress?
I have a screenshot that I took just so I could tease Ken with it, where we ran into a room full of people, and I think I put 5 people on the floor with Grease and then commanded another 4 to kneel down. And Matt was playing a very adventurous Smash Things Goliath fighter, and we had a monk, and both of them were super grateful to have like 12 targets that they all had advantage on. But I've probably put 50 people on the ground with a Grease spell over the course of one campaign.
Yeah, not to mention all the fucking hypnotic pattern. Well, thank you for not taking hypnotic pattern, by the way, Volk. I appreciate that. Anyways, I will talk to you guys all later, and I'm sure throughout the week. And if you have any questions, let me know.
Okay.